Welcome to Truist Stadium here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm Graham Tuck with Brett Wiseman beside me, bringing you Disco Turkeys baseball on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube. Finally back home after a long road trip. Brett, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back in downtown Winston, as beautiful a park as this is. There is no better place in the Textile League to call a baseball game than this place right here, Graham.
That is exactly it. As we get into the game day gobble, as we'll bring you this contest between the Locos of High Point-Thomasville, North Carolina, and the Carolina Disco Turkeys, who, let's call it how it is. This past road trip for Carolina did not go as planned.
Yeah, let's put it mildly. It was not fun, to say the least. With the exception of the game in Martinsville, what seemed like a momentum boost for this ball club, Saturday in Boone took all the air out of the balloon, and it was the same problems that have plagued this team time and time again up till this point that were not the case on last Tuesday night in Martinsville.
And one of the big keys to that win in Martinsville was number 31 on the mound, John Owen, and he will be the starter tonight for Carolina.
It's going to be a much-needed boost right there.
Exactly, as they take on the Locos. That win against the Ponies was the only win on the 5-game road trip, and the 4 losses against the Spinners, Bigfoots, High Toms, and Bigfoots again, respectively, all came in the 7th inning or earlier.
Yeah, and the 2 games in Boone especially, I think, are ones that this ball club is going to want to have back, and ones that did not need to get, as far out of hand as they did, because there were certainly plenty of opportunities in that game alone. And then in Mooresville, stranding the bases loaded twice in the first 2 innings did not help at all. And that's the problem that's been plaguing this ball club all season, is coming through in those kind of situations. Stranding, I haven't done the math on it yet, but if I had to off the top of my head, stranding probably 30 to 35 runners total in those 3 games.
That's not a bad estimate at all. It's
not a way to win ball games.
It's been rough. But it's also been rough for the Locos so far this season. They come into this game with a record of 2-4, losers of their last 3, including a 5-1 loss to the Greensboro Monarchs on Monday. So, 2 teams that are in desperate need of a win, and one of them is going to come out of this contest with it.
Well, that's what makes things even tougher for both sides. When you've got 2 teams that are playing a desperate style of baseball, as you're going to see tonight, you're going to see things get more aggressive, not only in at-bats, but on the base paths as well. You might see mistakes on both sides defensively. The key for both sides here tonight is just to execute, because when you play desperate baseball, sometimes the game can get away from you.
And that'll lead us into our keys to the game. Brett, you got 3 of them. What are they?
Well, I just touched on the first one for Carolina. It's to execute. And I'll get more into that in the next 2, but you can't let the game get away from you. You have to execute on the little things, keep the game in front of you. If the game gets away from you, you give that desperate team in the opposite dugout all the momentum in the world. It just sucks the life out of you. Number 2, do not strand runners. Okay? Don't strand runners. That has been the problem. When you've got runners in scoring position, you can't try and do too much. You can't overthink it at the plate. Get the bat head out, put the ball in play. It doesn't matter if it's a fly ball, a pop-up. When you put the ball in play, good things happen. As long as it's a productive at-bat, a productive out, you can be happy with it. But you cannot be forcing it at the plate to the point where you're stranding as many runners as we've seen recently. Number 3, for the guys on the mound, pound the strike zone. This is a team, as we know, Graham, offensively is struggling pretty mightily right now. And as you said, that 5-1 loss to Greensboro kind of adds to that. Pound the strike zone, attack these hitters. We know the kind of stuff John Owen has. If he doesn't come right after guys, it's going to be a long day again for this pitching staff.
And speaking of the pitching staff, as we said, my player to watch is going to be John Owen tonight. What about yours?
I'm going to go with Dino Tharp. He's back in the lineup tonight. He's the team leader, and he's not back in the lineup.
He is available to play. However, he is not in the starting lineup tonight.
Okay, excuse me, but he's still my player to watch if he gets in the game.
He's a big guy to get back
right now. He's missed the last 5, and this team needs him desperately right now. They need that offensive jolt if he can get in the ball game tonight.
So as we touched on the starting lineups, we will give you our starting lineups. Time for your Foothills starting lineups presented by Foothills Brewing. Try Foothills' great craft beer and coffee at any of their 3 Triad locations. Find out more at foothillsbrewing.com. We'll start off with the visiting Locos. It's Jose Vargas leading off at shortstop, and Nick Tiller behind him in center field wearing number 5. Carlos Emezquita playing third base. Gabe Rentis batting cleanup and playing catcher. Shamar Dalton is the designated hitter, batting fifth. Luke Pritchett, number 21 in your program's first base and batting sixth. And then 7, 8, 9 is Nick Halo, the second baseman, Nick Bowles, the left fielder, and Tyler Lloyd, the right fielder. And on the mound for the Locos, it's going to be number 11, Gavin Bird, throwing the pitches for the Locos. And then for the Disco Turkeys, leading things off will be Jeff Davis playing right field, Logan Conklin in second, playing the number 2 position behind the plate. Austin St. Laurent back in the lineup after a day off against Boone, playing shortstop. D. Hawthorne, the cleanup man for the second game in a row. This time he's playing in center field, somewhere we haven't seen him yet this year. Nick McAdon playing second base and batting fifth. Kix Farrell has moved over to third from his shortstop position against Boone, batting sixth. Trey Newman, the number 7 hitter and designated hitter. Bryson Beber gets the start at first, batting eighth, and Caleb Smith, one of the key cogs in this Disco Turkey machine, is batting ninth, playing in left field. And on the mound, as we mentioned, it's number 31, John Owen from Pfeiffer. We'll bring you first pitch after this when we are back here at Truist Stadium. We'll welcome you back here to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. First pitch between the Locos and the Disco Turkeys. Just a couple of moments away. It's John Owen on the mound for Carolina. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball. Back here in Winston as John Owen has taken the mound. And it's the first time for a lot of these new Disco Turkeys players that they've seen Truist Stadium. John Owen's first time in Truist. Same thing for Kix Farrell, Austin St. Laurent, Kaysen Haggard. Not in the starting lineup for this game, but his first game in Truist one way or the other. So a new sight for a lot of these players as it's Healthcare Workers Appreciation Night here in Truist. And if you are one of the many healthcare workers that has helped us get through the last year and many other adversities throughout, all of our lifetimes, very, very thankful for all of you watching at home. Glad that you're tuning in if you couldn't make it to the ballpark here tonight.
And if you can make it, and you wear your scrubs or medical gear, you get it in for half price.
Still time to come on out, just saying.
Just throwing it out there.
So it will be Jose Vargas, the shortstop for High Point-Thomasville, stepping into the box to lead things off. John Owen, first time on the mound at Truist, as we said. He pitched very well against Martinsville. Here's the first pitch. Vargas shows bunt. It's a liner back to Owen. And quickly, the first pitch is the first out of the game.
Well, that's one way to start. How about one pitch, one out on a bunt to get yourself going on the mound? And it was a pretty good pitch, too.
Pretty sure that we can say that none of us expected it to start like this, but hey, Carolina will take it. So quickly, one out in the first. We'll remind you of what happened the last time that Owen took the mound. It was 5 innings pitched, 20 batters faced, 3 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts to just 1 walk, and only 68 pitches, but no earned runs is the key. The 0-1 pitch to Nick Tiller is fouled back into the netting. He's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed, Graham, about Owen Tuesday in Martinsville was that he works super quick.
Here's the 0-2. That one is lined into right field. And it'll be foul for nothing but a waste pitch. Count still 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off yet again. Count will stay 0-2. John Owen out of Pfeiffer and formerly of Pitt Community College, as well as the Asheboro Copperheads. Here's the 0-2. That one's in the dirt. Tried to get Tiller to chase. Couldn't. It's ball 1.
Now, you don't go to a team like the Copperheads without some kind of touting of your abilities, and the Disco Turkeys certainly have a good one in this guy.
Here's the 1-2. Lined into right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit, the first of the day for the Locos. And Nick Tiller is aboard with a 1-out single.
And not a bad pitch right there from John Owen. It's a fastball in the outer half. Kind of got to tip your hat, I should say, as a pitcher right there. It was a good pitch with a better piece of hitting. You got one on with one out here, try and roll the ground ball, get it out of this. No harm, no foul.
It'll be Carlos Amezquita, who has been one of the hottest hitters in the area lately. Has been absolutely on fire ever since the season started for the Locos. See if he can keep it going today. First pitch from Owen is right over the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. That's one thing that John Owen does very, very well. He throws the first pitch for a strike. He threw it 70% of the time in his outing against Martinsville. Here's the 0-1. Off and running is Tiller. It's a hit and run. It's skied into left. Smith settling under it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. And returning to first base will be Nick Tiller.
That's a big-time second out, and that's what happens, Graham, as you said, when you're able to get a first-pitch strike. First-pitch strike percentage for me is always a good indicator of where a pitcher stands in a start and how far he can go. And you saw how far he went the other night.
He would have gone a lot
further. But, look, when you get ahead in the count like that, you can attack the strike zone a lot better, and then you get a pitch like that and get an out of it.
Quick throw back to Tiller. The call was belated from the base umpire, the infield umpire, I should say.
Looked pretty close, though.
It was very close, but he's called safe. It's Gabe Rentis, the catcher at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. And it's a called strike one yet again.
Again, when you attack the zone and get ahead in the count, you are already putting the guy in the box on his heels. If he's not comfortable right off the hop like that, you have the advantage on the bump.
Off and running again is Tiller. The throw from Conklin is in time, except the ball gets away from Macedon at second. D. Hawthorne fielding it in center, and that one hits off of the body of Tiller at third. So it'll be a stolen base and an E2 to advance Nick Tiller all the way to third, and suddenly the Locos are in business with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's a big-time shift here in this inning. The throw, as you said, was in time. I thought for sure he was going to be out by a mile. But the throw skipped in, unable to get it fielded into center field. And Hawthorne maybe got away with one there, trying to throw it on a line to third. Probably should just eat that one, get it into the cutoff man, and move on.
So it's a 1-1 count here after it was called a ball, the 0-1 pitch to Rentis. The runner on third is Tiller. 2 outs in the top of the first. Here's the pitch from Owen. He'll swing on that one, line it to third, where Farrell will make the play, and the throw is in time to Beber at first for out number 3. So a scoreless top half of the first, as Carolina will head to the dugout, come back out in the bottom, and we'll get the bats going. More Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball after this. And we're back here at Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, home of the Disco Turkeys for the weekend and the rest of the summer, as we'll be here all weekend and then 4 more games next weekend. It's Jeffrey Davis stepping into the box, starting things off for Carolina as the first pitch from the Locos' Gavin Bird skips its way in for ball 1. That one is high and outside. It's ball 2. Jeff Davis so far this year, 7 starts in 8 appearances, batting .250 with 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 RBIs, and 4 extra base hits. Pretty good year at the plate for the Guilford Tech player.
And the alumni of Reagan High School, who's headed to the 4A state title game this weekend.
2-1 to Davis. Here's the pitch. He'll swing on that one and foul it back. So the count evens at 2.
A couple of really good cuts, though, right there.
Two pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 3. Every ball that has been pitched in this count and missed the zone has missed it badly. See if that trend continues here with a full count.
That's a sign, hopefully.
Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And there's one out in the inning for the Locos.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Pulled the string on it. The best time, in my opinion, Graham, to throw a changeup is 3-2 because there is absolutely no way you're looking for it in the box. You're thinking fastball all the way. At that point, you're just trying to fight. When you get in swing mode like that and it's close, you go to swing at it and you're already 3 feet out in front of it, the pitcher's got the advantage.
And we'll see if Logan Conklin can do anything about Gavin Bird's pitching. Here's the pitch to Conklin. A little bit low for ball 1. Conklin this season leads the Textile League in quality at-bats. He's got 30 on the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses the zone as well, ball 2. Conklin also 4th in the Textile League in OPS with 947. Not bad numbers for the Carolina catcher.
He's been the hot bat all year, and we keep going back to that game in Martinsville, that big 3-run homer that broke things open.
That one is lined back up the middle, gets past the glove of Bird at second, making the play and keeping it out of the grass.
That's not a bad play right there, but once it even so slightly deflected off the glove of Bird on the mound, at that point you don't really have a chance. I mean, I know it's the catcher running, so you think you do, but that coupled with the fact that he double clutched it, trying to get it out of the glove too quick, at that point you just go chalk it up as a single.
Well, and Nick Halo was able to keep it out of the grass, but not able to get it out of his glove. And Conklin, we've touched on this before, he's a catcher, but he doesn't move like he's a catcher.
No, he is pretty fast.
So it'll be Austin St. Laurent making his first appearance at Truist. Here's the first pitch to him. Breaking ball finds its way into the zone, called strike, 0-1.
His first appearance on the field, he joined the rest of the ball club for the appearance at the Dash game last week.
Conklin at first. Here's the 0-1 from Bird. In the dirt, bounced on the plate rather. A good job behind the dish by the High Point-Thomasville catcher, Gabe Rentis, to keep that one in front of him. Counts 1-1.
You got the sense, Graham, that outing the other night really brought this club a lot closer
Well,
together.
the chemistry is definitely working its way around now. 1-1 to St. Laurent is high for ball 2.
It's a good take.
D. Hawthorne, the center fielder, on deck. Behind him, the second baseman, Nick McAdon. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and popped up. Foul and out of play. It'll even the count at 2.
Yeah, he didn't miss the barrel by much on that one. It was a good cut. Just couldn't quite get it barreled up and squared up. He squares that one up. It's hitting the bar in left center.
Two. In the dirt, ball 3, second full count of the half inning for Gavin Berg.
That's a good sign for the guy at the home 9 on that first base dugout, getting that pitch count up.
Three-two. It's high for ball 4, and Austin St. Laurent is aboard, keeping that on-base percentage sky high.
Now you got two really good base runners with a good fair amount of speed to their credit each on the base pass for the big cleanup bat. If he can find a gap somewhere, gonna be trouble.
And D. Hawthorne found a gap in that game against Martinsville. He went 1 for 2 in the game against Boone as well. Seems to have found his stride at the plate lately. Here's the first pitch to him. Finds the outside corner. for a called strike one. And Gabe Rentis saw something that he didn't like in that delivery from Bird. So
yeah, it looks like they got crossed up right there. It was a good job behind the plate to frame that and steal the strike, but the strike was more on it being thrown than on the catcher because they obviously mixed up some signs right there because that was a tentative grab behind the plate. That hit for Hawthorne in Martinsville broke the game open and kind of sealed the deal.
Here's the 0-1 to him. Hawthorne will take that one low for ball one.
That's not a bad pitch on the mound either.
Ahead in the count. You can afford to throw that pitch all day long.
Especially to a guy like that that's looking for, he's a low ball hitter as well because he's trying to elevate it.
That one fouled back into the netting by Hawthorne, and he'll fall behind 1-2. Conklin on second, St. Laurent on first, one out in the inning. The last time the Disco Turkeys played here, it was a loss to Statesville. 2 Sundays ago, that one was a 10-7 final. 1-2 count, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, second strikeout of the inning for Bird, and it's the second out.
And a big one at that. Again, went to the changeup with 2 strikes. Might be his 2-strike pitch, and it's a pretty darn good one if that's it. He's gotten 2 big swings and 2 big misses and 2 big outs off of it.
So it'll bring up Nick McAdon, who has also found his stride at the plate recently. He had a very good game against Boone, had 2 RBIs.
Yeah, I thought he was the strongest hitter in that game on Saturday.
He was. He's batting .278 on the year. 5 hits on the season, 3 of them coming in the last 2 games. First pitch is a ball in the dirt. McAdon on the year has 5 RBIs. 4 of them have come in the last 2 games. (1-0). Farrell on deck. Here's the pitch. That one catches the outside part. Called strike one.
Really good pitch on the outer half right there.
(1-1), here it is. McAdon wanted that one, but wisely holds off. It's outside, ball 2.
Really good take right there. That's a tough pitch to lay off. And a great job in the box by McAdon to recognize that on the way down or the way to the plate and have the discipline to lay off of it.
2-1. That one's outside for ball 3.
Now you're in a hitter's count. Now you're in a good spot.
Big spot here for both Bird and McAdon. 3-1. Swung on, popped up, right side. And it'll get out of play.
And that's a 3-1 count swing right there.
So the third full count of the inning. And this one comes with 2 outs. The first one resulted in a strikeout, the second one in a walk. We'll see what comes of this one. Runners should be moving on the pitch. There they go. It's swung on, driven into right field. But that one's foul as well. We'll do it all over again.
A good defensive swing right there.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat. Here it is from Bird. That one's driven to the shortstop. The play to be made by Vargas, and the throw led the first baseman off the bag. Pritchett couldn't make the play, and coming in to score is Conklin.
Wow. It was tough to tell if he got the tag down I'm not going to say for sure whether he did or not. We're going to have a discussion here to see if that's indeed what happened. Yep.
Home plate umpire overrules the call, so the run will not count, and it's a ground out to end the inning. So the Locos work their way around a hit and a walk. They'll strand 2, and we'll head to the top of the second the same way we started the first, 0-0 in Winston. Back here in Winston for the top of the second. Scoreless here, both teams with a hit through 1. Disco Turkeys have an error on the board, but both teams working their way out of a jam with runners in scoring position. So we'll start at the top of the second. It's Shamar Dalton, the designated hitter, batting 5th and 1st in the inning. It'll be Dalton, Pritchett, Halo for High Point-Thomasville in this half inning. John Owen getting ready to start things off. A ground ball to first is picked up in fair territory by Beber. He'll flip to Owen for out number 1. What a way to start the second.
There's a web gem for you. Good pick right down the first base line. Tough play to make, too. Able to gather, and a good job by Owen getting off the mound quickly and getting over to the bag in time to make the play.
Well, and Shamar is another guy that I played baseball with growing up. And one of the things that he definitely has in his repertoire as an athlete is he is fast. So if that ball gets by Beber, that's at least a double, possibly a triple, knowing his speed.
Yeah, and you see how that wall sloped down there, down the right field line. It takes a carom off that low wall. Can't really see it well on the screen, but takes a bad carom out there off the wall of the bullpen. It could be 3.
First pitch to Luke Pritchett was ball 1. The second one's in there for strike 1. So the count even, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped up, right side. Beber calling off the second baseman. That's Macadon, and it'll be out number 2.
Good stuff so far. Quick outs. That's what you like to see on the hill.
And it'll bring up Nick Halo, the second baseman, who fielded the infield base hit from Logan Conklin in the bottom of the first, was almost able to make a spectacular play, just couldn't get the transition quickly enough. See if he can atone for it at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. It's over the plate for a called strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch from Owen. Almost over the outside corner, but it's ball 1. The Locos had a slew of games get canceled in the middle of their season. And when they came back, they missed about a week and a half worth of games, and they came back. They've been riding a 3-game losing streak since then.
Well, I mean, can you blame them a whole lot? I mean, when you get a wrench thrown in your schedule like that, it throws off your whole routine. And, we've kind of been through the same thing with the Disco Turkeys with this ball club with some of the scheduling changes that happen. It's just something you have to roll with. But you can't blame them for the struggles they've been on when you're thrown off your routine like that. It gets tough.
1-2 pitch from Owen with 2 outs. There it is. He'll ground it to the shortstop, St. Laurent. The play to be made, a phenomenal play by Austin at short, and it'll end the inning. The Locos go down in order. We'll go to the bottom half of the second, still scoreless here in Winston. We're back here in Winston as Kix Farrell from West Texas A&M steps into the right-handed batter's box to start things off. For the Disco Turkeys, they've got the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up. Farrell, Newman, and Beber. First pitch to Newman from Bird, taken for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swings on that one, fouls it back. Looked like it was coming straight to us, but it catches netting. It's an 0-2 count.
Kind of mad it caught the netting because, I mean, that was coming straight for me. I definitely would have pulled you over to make the catch. I'm not lying. Nothing against you, but I need a foul ball.
I've had to dodge a couple of foul balls in my time as a broadcaster. It's not fun. No, I'll put it that way. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's high for ball 1. Couldn't get Farrell to chase.
Well, that and I have to protect my broadcast partner at the very least, so,
Well, I have a pane of glass between me and the infield. You do not. Here's the 1-2. That one's high for ball 2.
Who needs protection? I just want the baseball. I'll take a broken nose if it means getting a foul ball.
All right, buddy. 2-2 count. That one's high for ball 3. 3 straight misses, same spot every time, and it's a full count yet again for Gavin Bird. His pitch count is already sky high through 1+, already up to 31 pitches.
Well, that's a good job in the box, too, to work it there.
Here's the 3-2. That one's outside for ball 4 from down 0-2 in the count. 4 straight balls will get Farrell on base as the leadoff man.
How about from 0-2 to a walk? That's working the count right there.
So a 7-pitch plate appearance to start things off. 6 pitches. And it results in a runner on base to start things off for the Disco Turkeys. And now there's a runner on first for Trey Newman. First pitch to him is a called strike 1. He made a pinch hit appearance in the game against Boone on Saturday. 0 for 1 with a flyout. 0-1. Here it is. Breaking ball. Didn't
Look
get back
out.
into the zone. Back pick. Not in time, but it was way too close for comfort.
He was sleeping over there. He's lucky he got back.
I'd venture to say that probably should have been called an out. But Farrell lucky to get back in time, according to the infield
Well, if it was a
umpire.
little bit of a quicker throw down there, the throw seemed to flutter a little bit midway down there. If there's a little bit of a quicker throw, they might have gotten him.
1-1 to Newman is called strike 2. So he has yet to offer at a pitch, and he's now behind 1-2. Trying to be selective up there. It's not working out so far. Here's the pitch. Outside corner misses just barely. It's 2-2.
That's a great pitch right there.
That outside corner to right-handed batters has been very hit or miss for both pitchers so far today. We'll see if Bird goes back to it. Bryson Beber on deck. Caleb Smith behind him. 2-2 to Newman. Off and running is Farrell. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The throw not in time. So it'll be out number 1 on the strikeout by Newman, but advancing to second on the stolen base is Farrell, and now they'll call him out.
Did he come off the bag? That's the only thing that could have happened is he came off the bag and the tag was held.
I have no idea why Kix Farrell was just called out at second base after he seemed to clearly steal second.
He had to have come off the bag. That could be the only thing because he beat the throw by a mile.
One way or the other, it'll bring up Bryson Beber, and now there are 2 outs in the inning.
Number 2, Bryson Beber.
First pitch to Beber was a called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. It's low for ball 1. So not the way the Disco Turkeys wanted to start the things in the bottom half of the second. Beber swings on that one. He'll pop it back off the netting. It'll be nothing but strike 2. Beber had been swinging the bat very well in the first part of the road trip, but he hasn't played since the game against the High Toms last Saturday. He missed both the game in Martinsville on Tuesday and the game in Boone on Saturday. Here's the 1-2 to him. Grounds it to third. This could be the third out. The throw is in time, and the Disco Turkeys go down in order. The Locos will be up in the top of the third when we come back. 8-9-1 due up for High Point-Thomasville. More Carolina Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Looking for an opportunity to promote your local business? Contact us today to become a sponsor of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Opportunities start at just $100 per season. So to learn more, message sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. That's sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. We'll bring you back here to Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we're still scoreless through 2 innings of play. And it'll be the 8-hitter leading things off for the Locos of High Point and Thomasville in the top of the third frame. It's Nick Bowles stepping into the box, the left fielder for High Point-Thomasville. A rare miss on the first pitch from John Owen, and the count will be 1-0. Another miss from Owen, and he quickly falls behind 2-0.
I wouldn't be too concerned, though. I mean, as quick as he works, that's going to happen. You can't throw first pitch strike 100% of the game. That's almost impossible.
Yeah, but here he is behind 3-0.
Well, he's coming in on him. That's the MO, it looks like, but to this point, it doesn't appear to be working.
Here's the 3-0, right over the heart of the plate as expected for called strike one.
Yeah, taken all the way in the box, too.
Three-one pitch, here it is. And a big swing and a miss from Bowles on the heater from Owen.
You hear the pop up here. I mean, he reared back for that one. Here it is,
Full
big
count
fella.
now. Here's the pitch. A breaking ball got him looking. What a pitch from John Owen.
Oh, man.
Backwards K for out number one.
That was filthy. I mean, that should be illegal in some states.
And that is why they've got him here. Down 3-0 in the count. Come back to get him on 3 straight strikes. 2 of them looking. Phenomenal stuff on the mound from John Owen.
That's a cheat code breaking ball right there.
So it'll bring up Tyler Lloyd, the right fielder. First pitch to him is a called strike one. Here it is. A big swing and a miss. Quickly ahead, 0-2 is Owen. He's thrown 5 straight strikes after getting behind 3-0 to Bowles.
I don't think he likes missing the strike zone a whole lot.
I like that about him. Lloyd able to hold off on the high heat. Good thing, too. He wasn't going to be able to hit that one, I can tell you that. 1-2 count.
Now, almost blew through the webbing of Conklin's catcher's mitt.
Swing and a miss on a ball down in the dirt. Filthy stuff from John Owen. 2 straight Ks. It's 2 outs in the inning as the Locos return to the top of the order.
Now, that's a changeup, but with the break of not everyone's changeup. Okay, that thing fell off the table and then some.
And now you see why John Owen played in the CPL with the Copperheads. A guy like that, phenomenal pitching talent.
And the thing that makes it so deceptive is it looks like a fastball out of his hand. And then you're 3 feet out in front of it by the time you know what it is.
Owen will step off as Jose Vargas, who lined out on a bunt attempt to Owen on the first pitch of the game, steps back up. He'll watch that one over the outside chalk. Strike one. A 1 from Owen. Outside ball 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, but I believe that Vargas is one of only 2 left-handed batters in this Locos lineup.
Yeah, the 9 and the 1 hole. It's not something you see a lot at this level. You see lineups usually try and balance themselves out, but both of these ball clubs.
Perhaps a bit of strategery for the Locos. 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Vargas. And Owen strikes out the side to end things here in the third. Still scoreless as we go to the bottom half. Still 0-0 in Winston. We'll bring you back here to Truist Stadium for Disco Turkeys baseball as Carolina has taken the box in the bottom half of the third. It's Caleb Smith, the number 9 hitter and left fielder, who takes a called strike 1 to start off the plate appearance. John Owen has been dealing on the other end for Carolina.
Got to get him some run support here.
That one low and away for ball 1 to Smith. Here's the 1-1. That one gets away from Rentis behind the plate. It's 2-1. Caleb Smith in the game against Boone on Saturday had 3 plate appearances. Every single one of them was a hard hit ball. And I believe only one of them dropped for a hit.
In for a hit. But
however,
yeah, he squared the ball up all 3 times.
That one thought it was inside off the plate, and so did Bird on the mound, but it's 2-2 count.
When the pitcher is surprised that it's a strike, that's when you know it's a bad call.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled off. Good job by Smith to stay alive.
Yeah, way to keep it going right there. That's a breaking ball that he was well out in front of, but did a good job to stay balanced enough to at least get a piece of it.
46 pitches now for Bird. Here's the 47th. Swung on and hard contact by Smith yet again. That one's going to drop in right center field for a leadoff single. And for the second straight inning, the leadoff man is aboard for Carolina.
Again, same thing as Saturday night in Boone, except this time it found a place to drop. Solid contact the other way now, too. A couple of those at-bats the other night. He made solid contact to the opposite field. This time he's able to find a hole. Really good approach at the plate that time.
I believe one of the stories of the night the other night was a rocket from Caleb Smith up the middle, and it ended up being an unassisted double play by the shortstop, Logan Lex. Caught Caleb Smith going the other way, did Bird, but he gets back to first in time, and he's safe after the pickoff attempt. It's Jeff Davis who's stepping into the right-handed batter's box for the second time. Struck out his first time up on a full count. First pitch to him, grounded hotly to third, and it's under the glove of Carlos Mezquita. Put an E5 in your scorebooks, and it's a second consecutive base runner with no outs here for Carolina.
Yeah, that's a break that time. That's a play that if you ask Mezquita, he will tell you 9 times out of 10, really 10 times out of 10, he should make. It wasn't hit quite that hard, but it was just kind of a nonchalant play over there at third. Didn't feel that low enough.
Oh, he got low. He tried to backhand it, though, and you never do that at third if you can help it.
Exactly.
It comes back to bite Mezquita, and we'll see if Bird can work around it as Logan Conklin steps up.
And now I got the big boys coming up.
And this is where Bird is going to have to work his way out of some trouble. He's got Conklin, St. Laurent, and Hawthorne due up, the next 3 batters, and Macadon behind Hawthorne is no poor bet either. Smith on second, Davis on first. Both of them have speed. 1-0 to Conklin is a base hitting to left. Smith is going to get waved around to score. This is going to be a close play at the plate. The throw from left is in time. Smith is in. He's safe.
Wow.
The Disco Turkeys are on the board, 1-0 here in the bottom of the third.
And that is all on the slide right there. If he slides feet first, he's getting tagged all day.
And I believe that Noah Anderson is going to come out of the dugout. There he is, having a little conversation with our home plate umpire. Didn't like that call too much.
They called him out.
I can safely say that is the first time that I have ever seen at this level of baseball a home plate umpire reversing his call due to a coach's appeal. That is ridiculous.
I don't know what to say.
Next up, the shortstop.
And it didn't take him long to reverse it either, so why even call him safe in the first place? That makes absolutely no sense to me.
So it'll be 1 out with runners on first and second. Davis on second, Conklin on first, and St. Laurent at the plate. That one's low for ball 1, and now St. Laurent has an opportunity to go get this one back. Another base hit. would do the same thing that Conklin's did had that call not been reversed. St. Laurent got jammed on that one. He'll take it inside. Wanted to go around but couldn't. Called strike one. The count's even. A big fly from St. Laurent is going to advance Davis at least one. That one's going to be caught in center field by Nick Tiller, and Davis is going to be held up at third. So a big fly from St. Laurent is caught on the warning track, and now with 2 outs, there's runners on the corners for D. Hawthorne.
He didn't miss that one by much. Got good wood on it the other way. I mean, 5-10 more feet, that's at least off that high wall out there in right center.
And that's exactly where you wanted to hit it in the ballpark if you're St. Laurent.
It's the big part of the park.
It's the big part of the park, and it's the part of the park that's going to get that runner from second over to third, at the very least. The throw to Conklin at first is offline, and Davis is going to come in to score. Conklin makes his way to second. He'll take a turn and hold up. An error by Gavin Bird on the mound on the pickoff attempt results in a run scored for Carolina.
Well,
what about that?
I'm not going to say poetic justice or, these things always even out or something like that, but in a way, that's what happened. I mean, you kind of get the short end of the stick on that call at home plate, and then...
And it was a close call one way or the other. I just have never seen...
I've never seen it reversed like that, but in a way, it evens out. It gets made up for with a play like that, so you get on the board anyway.
And there's still a runner in scoring position for Hawthorne, and a big swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt for strike one. As we said, in the game against Boone on Saturday, Hawthorne was 1 for 2 with a single, and then in Martinsville, he was 1 for 4, but he did have 2 RBIs and a stolen base. Hawthorne lines that one into deep center, but going back for it is Tiller, and he'll make the couch for out number 3. But the Disco Turkeys scratch one across. They'll win the first third of the ball game. The score's 1-0 as we head to the top of the 4th in Winston. Well, welcome you back here to Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, where John Owen is back on the mound for Carolina. He'll be tasked with the 2-3-4, starting with Nick Tiller for High Point and Thomasville, and we've got some information on that last half inning. The appeal from Noah Anderson in the Locos dugout was that Caleb Smith did not touch third on his way around to score, and that is what reversed the call from the home plate umpire. However, we have been told that it appears that it was not that way. Take that as you will, as the 1-1 pitch is lined into right center field, and Davis misplayed it, got lost in the sun. He'll throw to second, and it's not going to be in time. The throw was off the mark anyway, and it'll be an E9 as Nick Tiller makes his way to second.
Well, that's an interesting start to the inning, to say the least. Davis thought it was going shading towards right center. Instead, it took a spin the opposite direction towards straightaway right.
Letters third baseman intercepting Carlos.
And normally we don't see as many games as you and I have seen here, Graham. We don't see, if you lose a fly ball, we don't usually see it happen in right. It usually only happens in left because that's where the majority of the shadows are. Right field is completely clear, but at times
it's a lot of sun,
it's
though.
also the part of the field that's most in the sun.
And they called a balk on John Owen, so that'll advance Tiller to third. So 3 free bases to start the inning for the Locos, and they're already in business with their 3-man up and no outs.
I didn't see anything. But then again, I wasn't looking that closely, and you're never looking that closely for things that may or may not be a balk, but it's not the first time. It's one of many times we've seen a disco turkey pitcher get called for one. So
there's the 1-0 pitch. It's outside and high again, 2-0.
And now that's the 3 free bases now seem to have thrown off John's command a little bit here.
No action in the Carolina bullpen. There is someone up for the Locos. We'll get on that to tell you who it is in a second. 2-0 pitch to Mesquita is in there for strike 1.
And a good pitch at that.
Two one, swung on. This will bring in a run. The ground ball to Macadon. Throw is in time to Beber at first for out number 1, but it will result in run number 1 for High Point and Thomasville. Things are all evened up here in Winston.
Yeah, but you'll trade the out for the run at that point. You get a guy to third, nobody out. You will 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sundays, every day of the week and twice on Sundays, I should say. That's how it goes. You will take that out for the run. Now you got no traffic. You got 1 out. Go get the next 2 guys. Get out of this.
Big swing and a miss from Rentis for strike 1. The man up in the bullpen for the Locos was Mason Everhart, but he has since taken a seat. I'll let you know if he gets back up. The 0-1 pitch to Rentis is outside for ball 1. That one is lined to third, and Farrell kicks Farrell, making the play. He's flashed the leather a number of times in the last few games, and he should be in the defensive lineup to stay, if I had to guess. What a phenomenal play from the Disco Turkeys' third baseman.
He made 2 spectacular plays at shortstop the other night in Boone, filling in for Austin St. Laurent and showing he could do it just to the left of that position, too, at the hot corner.
That one will start things off 0-1 to Shamar Dalton. Last time up, hit a sharp ground ball to first, and it was picked up for a ground out. That time, same spot. It's fair again, and it's thrown on to Owen at first again.
Deja vu all over again?
So an unearned run for John Owen. Still has yet to allow an earned run, mind you, in his Disco Turkeys career. We'll even the game up at 1. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th. Disco Turkeys looking to get it back in Winston. We'll bring you back here to Winston where Nick McAdon, first pitch, pops one up to shallow right field. And it'll be about to start the bottom half of the fourth for the Disco Turkeys after they gave up the one that they got in the bottom of the third in the top of this inning. So it will bring up Kix Farrell with one out in the bottom of the fourth.
A good start on the mound for Bird. One pitch, one out when you're already over 50 pitches.
In the fourth, no less.
Number 27, Kix Farrell.
First pitch is called a ball. Farrell getting ahead in the count.
That one didn't miss by much right there. And our home plate umpire seems to have a little bit of give on that outside corner to right-hander. So
2-0 count, here it is. Swung on by Farrell, and it'll be out of play. Farrell, I should say, excuse me. 2-1 count now. Here's the pitch. That one's high for ball three. Hitters count now for Farrell. You can hear Kurt Cabana shouting from third base. It's got to be right there. 3-1. It was right there.
it was.
But Farrell fouls it back 3-2.
That's a 3-1 swing right there. And he didn't miss it by much. He gets around on that thing. It might not come down for a while.
Here's the 3-2. That one is swung on. A pretty hefty swing yet again. It's out of play. Count will stay full.
It's another one. If he gets around on it, it's not coming down for a while.
Full count pitch. Here it is. That one was ball four, but Farrell electing to try to take his hacks at it. Count will stay full, and the umpire asks for more baseballs.
Not a terrible idea. But if that's in play, it's probably a pop-out.
I'd take ball four if I were Farrell. Here's the pitch to him. Full count yet again. That one is ball four, and it'll be a base runner for the first time in the inning. Man on for Trey Newman.
Really good at-bat that time from Kix. Saw the ball well, fouled off a couple of tough pitches. Saw everything he had in that at-bat and had a pretty good at-bat his last time.
Newman struck out on 5 pitches his first time up. First pitch to him is lined into right center field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. And Farrell will be held at second. So it'll be runners on first and second for the second consecutive inning for Carolina. This time with only one out and Bryson Beber at the plate.
That's a really good sign for number 5 right there. As we've told you, he's been struggling pretty mightily at the plate thus far, but that is a really, really good sign to see not only solid contact, but solid contact into the gap the other way. Shows you he saw it well enough to be able to drive it that way.
Bryson Beber making his first start in a while. First pitch to him is grounded. This could be 2, 4, 6, 3 not in time, and they've got Farrell in a rundown. And Mesquita's going to outrun him on his way home. So the Disco Turkeys run themselves out of a run, and it's 3 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Scoreless half inning. We'll go to the top of the fifth. Still 1-1 in Winston-Salem. We'll bring you back into Truist Stadium where John Owen has taken the mound for the top of the fifth against the Locos of High Point in Thomasville, North Carolina. It's Luke Pritchett taking ball one to start things off for High Point in Thomasville. They come into this one with a record of 2-4. Carolina with a record of 3-9. That one's fouled off by Pritchett for strike one. Locos started the year at 2-1 and have since lost 3 straight. Called strike two by John Owen, and he's ahead in the count now, 1-2. Disco Turkeys defensively have not been phenomenal this year. They're allowing 9.5 runs per game. That one is lined foul by Pritchett, but it does no harm as the count's still 1-2. 114 runs allowed this year, 115 now after the one in the top of the fourth by the Locos. Good for 9.5 per game, an ERA of over 10 as a team for Carolina. And the run support has just not been there as Pritchett calls time. But the Disco Turkeys look to be turning things around. They showed signs in Martinsville, and here again today as Pritchett fouls off another one, staying alive in the count yet again, still 1-2. And one of those bright spots is standing over there at shortstop, Austin St. Laurent, batting .500 on the year. Just phenomenal he's been able to keep that up. 1-2 pitch is lined into left, but it'll be foul. And the count will stay 1-2.
Unfortunately for High Point Thomasville, it goes foul. Would have been 2 bases at the very, very least.
Owen still working on Pritchett. Here's the 1-2. That one's grounded to the third base side. Farrell making the play, and a great pick from Bryson Beber will get it out of the dirt, out number 1.
This kid at first base is playing some kind of defense right now. Saved a couple of errors thus far, picking him out of the dirt, and we've seen it night after night from him over there, and you wonder why Kirk Cabana gave him another start there tonight. There's a reason why.
I feel it's safe to say that he has solidified his position as one of the better first basemen on the roster. But now that Dino Tharp is back, he might have some competition.
That he will.
First pitch to Nick Halo is over the inside corner for called strike one. The rest of this homestand for the Disco Turkeys, we'll get it to you in just a second as that one goes into the dirt for ball one. Tomorrow, it's the Martinsville Ponies coming to the town, same time, 5:35 p.m. Then on Friday, it's the Greensboro Monarchs, and they'll visit again on Sunday, 5:35 on Friday, 2 p.m. on Sunday, as that 1-1 breaking ball is in there for called strike two from John Owen. And in between those two games against the Monarchs of Greensboro, it'll be the Boone Bigfoots coming to town for the first time on the 26th, 5:35 first pitch, here in Winston.
That's a big one Saturday night.
1-2 pitch. That one is popped up. McAdon's going to have to get on his horse. He does, but it drops in anyway. And it's a bloop single for Nick Halo.
Yeah, just a little flare with eyes that time. Just stuck the bat head out at it. And a lot of times when that happens, you're able to find a hole like that. And a lot of times it can also get an offense going. And the hope for John Owen is that he can roll a ground ball here and get out of this without giving him any more momentum.
Owen has excelled in working around base runners. Thought we might have had a back pick from Conklin, but he couldn't get the ball out of his hands safely. And a good job, really, from him to keep a hold of that one rather than firing it loosely into right field. There's a called strike to Bowles, so Owen's ahead in the count 0-1.
We've seen that a couple of times with guys getting too aggressive on those back picks.
Owen trying to pick off Halo now at first. And Halo had to slide back in head first. And he'll shake some dirt out of his belt area. Here's the 0-1. That one's outside, evening the count.
Got to keep Halo honest over there at first, though. He's one of the faster base runners on this ball club.
1-1. Got him with the heater. 1-2 now.
I think they heard the pop of the glove already over there at 500 West 5th Street.
They heard it all the way in Martinsville. They should be scared tomorrow. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Bowles strikes out for the second consecutive at-bat.
There was no give whatsoever from John Owen on the mound right there. He threw him 2 fastballs in a row and said, here it is, big boy, try and hit it. And now here comes Kurt Cabana. We saw no action in the bullpen.
And this one seems like it might just be a mound visit for what I'm not sure. Owen was held to 68 pitches in his start against Martinsville this past Tuesday.
Scout Nichols has a glove in his hand and is headed out to the bullpen.
And that's a good sign. We haven't seen Scout on the mound in a while.
So the point of that mound visit might have been just to say, hey, we're getting a guy up. Which you don't see a lot of times, but it's...
And sometimes it can play a factor if a pitcher knows that he's on a pitch count going into the start.
Exactly.
So possibly just letting John Owen know that, hey, we've got a pitch count set for you. You're coming up on it. Just letting you know.
Yeah, that's got to be what it was. Hey, you're coming up on your number. We're getting somebody up. Get out of this inning if you can, but it's probably going to be your last one. And, you know, mentality at that point could go one of 2 ways.
I'll try to pick off Nick Halo yet again. He gets back in safely for the second time. It's Tyler Lloyd at the plate. Struck out his last time up. Part of that 1-2-3 struck out the side inning for High Point and Thomasville. He'll foul that one off. 0-2 now. And Lloyd will step out, call time before Owen can get off the 0-2 pitch. You see, with some guys, when you're ahead 0-2, you know exactly what's coming. With Owen, you really don't know. It could be anything. Could be the changeup, could be the fastball. We'll see what it is here. Heater got him. 1-2,
Numero
3.
uno. Sit down.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, and it's the third out as we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Owen has been phenomenal on the mound, and that might be it for him. 1-1 game, and Carolina will go to the bottom half after this. We're back here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where Caleb Smith is set to lead things off here for the Disco Turkeys. It's 9-1-2 due up for Carolina in this half inning, after the Locos left one stranded in the top of the 5th. Gavin Bird back on the mound. The first pitch to Smith is an off-speed that did not make its way back down into the zone. Very high for ball 1.
Need your boy to get something going here for the offense.
Here's the second pitch to Caleb. That one will make its way back into the zone. Off speed yet again. And it's a 1-1 count now. You don't see that every day. 2 straight off speeds to the number 9 hitter.
Especially 1-0.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's lifted into shallow left center field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Caleb Smith now 2 for 2 on the day.
Well, he took what Nick Halo did in the top half of the inning and said, whatever you can do, I can do better.
I'll see your shallow right center bloop single, and I'll raise you a shallow left center bloop single.
Right fielder, number 1, Jeffrey Davis.
And we'll see if Carolina can make something of it, opposed to the scoreless top half of the 5th after the bloop single from the Locos.
We said your boy needed to get something going. Hopefully that gets the line moving.
Smith's off and running, ball in the dirt, won't even draw a throw, and Caleb is in standing up on second base.
There's the jolt you needed.
So already no outs and a runner in scoring position for Jeff Davis, and Mason Everhart has made his way back out to the bullpen for the Locos. One 0 count now. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, called strike 1, evens the count up to number 1. He's 0 for 2 today. Struck out on a full count his first time up, reached on an error, and came around to score in his second at-bat. 1-1 pitch. Here it is. That one's grounded to shortstop. Vargas is going to make the throw to third, and it got away from Mezquita. Smith's going to score. That's a ball-on-line moment, and they'll get Jeff Davis at second.
No,
he swam his way around the tag.
Oh, my goodness.
What a slide from Davis. He's safe at second.
I don't know what to say.
So it'll officially be a fielder's choice, an error, and a phenomenal slide from Jeff Davis following the run scored by Caleb Smith.
How's that for a momentum shift?
Wow, that's exactly what Carolina needed, and that's also the second error made by Mezquita at third.
Well, the funny thing about that was Davis was late going to second. Chase Jesse over there at first base, playing first base coach, had to implore him to go, and then he made a slide that you only read about to get around the tag.
Vargas made the right play by throwing to third. Just was too close. Davis is off and running for third, and the play's not going to be in time. The ball got away from Mezquita after the throw from Rentis was high, and it's a stolen base for Jeff Davis. So now no outs. 2-3-4 due up, and a runner on third.
And that's the exact right time to make that call because you know defensively those 9 are already pressing. If you force them to make another play, that just makes things even more tough on them.
0-1 from Bird. And that one's popped up, foul out of play, and Conklin will be behind 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch to Logan Conklin. Here it is. It's in the dirt, ball 1. Good job by Rentis to keep that one in front of him and keep Davis from flying in to score.
There's still nobody out here.
Exactly, still no outs. 75 pitches now for Gavin Bird. Here's number 76. Lined into right field. And that one will be way out of play. One-two pitch, here it is. And the dirt ball, too.
Good take.
So Conklin battling up there on the mound.
Choking up a little bit, too, you can see.
Here's the 2-2. He'll hold off on that one for counts full.
Dude, that's the 3rd or 4th full count already.
Oh, this is number 6.
Okay, I lost count.
But you weren't wrong. Here's the full count pitch. He'll swing and line that one into shallow center, and it will not drop, but Davis is tagging, and Davis is scoring. Throw not in time on the relay, and it'll be the second run across this inning for Carolina. It's a 3-1 ball game.
That's what you like to see right there. Good piece of hitting. Again, this is just what I talked about pregame. Not trying to do too much. You get a fly ball into the outfield. The run gets home. He's not stranded. That is all that matters. And now you only got one out in the inning. You try to get into some more traffic. You're going with the middle of the order.
So it is essentially a whole new slate for Austin St. Laurent, who'll come up with one out and the base is empty. 3-1, Disco Turkeys lead. Here's the pitch to St. Laurent. It's all high for ball 1. St. Laurent playing mind games with Bird possibly a little bit. He emphatically shook his head no at that pitch. That one's across the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
He just shook that one off, too. He's like, no, I don't want that one either. You got to bring it to me.
And you know what he'll do if he gets one he likes. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded to short. Tough play to be made by Vargas, and a good stretch from Pritchett will help him out.
That's a
it's
really
out
good
number
play
2.
on both sides right there. And maybe a little bit of a chase there by Austin. It was off the outer edge. He rolled over it, but again, that's a good play by Vargas and a good stretch over at first base. Good play on both sides to get the second out.
Well, after you have that called strike that's on the outside corner,
You feel like you have to go after it, exactly.
You got to swing at that one, and there's only so much that you could do. Credit Bird for throwing to that same spot again. D. Hawthorne coming up now. First pitch breaking ball is in there for a called strike 1. Hawthorne's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a fly out to center. 0-1 pitch. He'll put a big swing on that one and pop it straight up. Halo settling underneath it, and it'll find his glove for out number 3. But 2 runs across in the bottom of the 5th for Carolina will give them a 2-run lead. It's 3-1. We'll go to the top of the 6th. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. Hey, Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team Store today in order to grab all of your Carolina Disco Turkeys merchandise to show your team spirit. You can visit the team store at Truist Stadium during our next home game tomorrow or at discoturkeys.com. We'll bring you back here to the top of the 6th inning in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at Truist Stadium. It's 3-1 Carolina after a 2-inning 5th for the Disco Turkeys. John Owen back on the mound. It's Jose Vargas. He'll ground it back to Owen. It'll get through him. But Macedon, the throw,
Great
just
stretch.
Barely beating the speedy Vargas.
And guess who's in at first base?
It's Dino Tharp making his substitution appearance. Good catch, Brett. Your player to watch. So that'll start The half inning for the Locos. First pitch ground out. 65 pitches now for John Owen. They'll bring up Nick Tiller. Still throwing heat is Owen. Late in the appearance, in the top of the sixth now, he is officially the pitcher of record. 1-0 pitch. That one's back in the zone, 1-1. And John Owen has the opportunity tonight, should the score hold, to become the first Disco Turkeys pitcher this season to reach the 2-win mark, so that would be phenomenal for him. That one's popped up foul territory. It'll get out of play. Owen has officially thrown 10 1/3 innings pitched in a Carolina uniform, still no earned runs. He's got a 2-2 count with Nick Tiller going on right now. This will be the 70th pitch of the appearance for him. That one's grounded to the right side, and Macadon couldn't get to it. It'll be a base hit for Tiller. His second of the game. He's reached base all 3 times he's come up.
You can't be too mad about that on the mound, though. Made a good pitch. You got the result you wanted for the most part out of it. So now if you get a ground ball like that again, hopefully you roll 2 off of it.
And my eyes might deceive me, but I believe that Hamish Foreman has taken over at second base for Nick Macadon. That number 18 jersey looks like it's turned into a number 19. We'll give you an update on that as soon as we can. I think we've also got a new man out in left field as well as right. I believe that Henry Kohler and Dane Stewart have entered the game, and there's a new center fielder as well. So we've got substitutions all over the place. We'll give you them as soon as we get them. We'll probably have to be in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, we'll see who comes up to the plate in those spots, but I don't think your eyes are deceiving you. I think that is indeed what is happening.
If I had to guess, it'll be Keaton Westhoff out there in center as well. 2-0 pitch. Looked like a hit-and-run swing from Amezquita.
That's definitely what it was. Amezquita is way too disciplined to go after that thing, especially ahead in the count 2-0. Unless he has to, which in that situation he did.
Off and running was the runner on first, Tiller. Didn't miss the hit and run signal that time, but it's fouled off for strike 2.
No, they put it on again. And I think you're right, Graham. I think he had to have missed the sign because he did not go or even bluff it on the 2-0.
And that is one thing that'll get you in the coach's doghouse faster than anything. 3-2 pitch. That's outside. I believe ours.
That will make it 3-2.
That will make it 3-2. Yep. I apologize. Our in-house scoreboard operator for the, and now they'll give him the walk.
Maybe that was ball 4. John Owen is also confused.
I think that the home plate umpire lost track similarly.
Wait a minute. That's a live ball.
The infield umpire called time. Nobody knows what's going on right now.
Now, if it was a walk, the ball's still live.
So here's what I think happened. Well, no, because he would automatically be on second. He would automatically be grounded second base with Tiller.
Good point.
So I believe what happened is our scoreboard operator in the control room, separate from our broadcast scoreboard, incorrectly thought that there were 3 balls in the count rather than 2. The home plate umpire went along with it, credited the walk on 3 balls rather than 4. And now, due to the fact that nobody really knows what's going on, they're going to let things stay the way they are. So it's a 3-ball walk for Amezquita. Haven't seen that one before.
Cross that off your bingo card for the summer, I guess.
So 2 runners on, 1 out. And it'll be Gabe Rentis. That one's fouled off for strike 1. And for one thing, we've been keeping track of pitches. That plate appearance for Emesquita was only 5 pitches. So there's no way that with 2 strikes in the count, that could have been a walk.
It is what it is. Got to move on now. Selective amnesia.
Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. It's inside, ball 1. Owen's got to work his way out of a jam now.
It's not a bad pitch, though.
Scout Nichols has made his way back to the dugout from the Carolina bullpen.
No action on either side.
This is a big spot for number 31 in white.
A big spot in the ball game, too.
Here it is. 1-1 breaking ball is lifted into left field. Getting on his horse is the Disco Turkey left fielder. I really don't know who it is at this point. It was not made clear. The relay will not be in time. So Rentis will do his job, move both runners over. But it's 2 outs in the inning now.
Did you see the gallop out there in left field to get after that thing? I mean, it was solid contact, but he got under it just a bit. It's not that far out there to left center, probably, I don't know, 325, 330, because it's only 315 down the line.
The batter is DH number 3, Shamar Dalton.
So it'll bring up Shamar Dalton.
He did not miss that by much. That was a few inches.
He hit that ball very hard.
A few inches off the barrel for being squared up in a 4-3 ball game instead of just advancing the runners.
So Shamar Dalton has grounded into a 3-1 putout both of his last times up.
Scout Nichols is back up down the right field line and soft tossing.
First pitch to Dalton is a heater in there for strike 1. Remind you, we've got a slew of defensive substitutions this inning for the Disco Turkeys. We'll let you know who they are when they come to the plate. 0-1 pitch is an off-speed, swung on and missed. And quickly with 2 outs, John Owen is 1 strike away from working his way out of a jam.
You'd have to think this is his last inning regardless of what happens on this next pitch.
Pitch 81 upcoming. Here it is. And it's grounded to third. This could be the end. The throw is not in time. Phenomenal speed from Dalton to beat it out, and nobody's at home as Conklin was trailing the runner at first, so 2 runners are going to come in, and Shamar Dalton is aboard with an infield single and an extra base earned on the error. 2 runs have scored, and the score's 3-3.
The most unexpected and, for Carolina, unfortunate way to tie up the ball game. My goodness. You don't see that every day. But then again, there's a lot of things in this ball game you don't see every day that we've already seen. So add that to the list, and now we got a pinch hitter.
So it'll be 1 RBI. There's 2 number 21s on the Locos. This one is Derek Martinez, taking over for Luke Pritchett. Last I checked, this wasn't college football, but I guess you can have 2 players wearing the same number on your roster. Dalton will take his lead at second after the RBI single. That is just 1 RBI for him. It's the first earned run allowed by John Owen as a Disco Turkey. Only 1 of those runs was earned. Count still 0-1. Here's the pitch. I don't know how that wasn't a strike. It's called ball 1. Looked like it was dead over the center of the plate. One pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Off and running was Dalton. The throw, not in time. He's safe at third. And Kaysen Haggard has made his way into the defensive lineup for Kix Farrell. He's playing third base right now. It's a stolen base for Shamar Dalton.
Well, things are going from bad to worse this half inning.
That one's fouled off by Martinez. It'll even the count at 2-2. So, if I am correct, I believe the only two position players that are still in the game, that started the game, are Austin St. Laurent and Logan Conklin. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's fouled off by Martinez. He'll stay alive. Count still 2-2.
For what I can tell, I think you're right.
Because I can't tell who that is out there in center, but I can tell you it's not D. Hawthorne. Same thing for the other two outfield positions. I believe that I believe that Hamish Foreman is at second. But we'll make that official in just a moment. Swing by Martinez. It's off the leg of John Owen, but straight to Dino Tharp at third. What do you think of that? It's out number 3. John Owen's okay.
Kick save and a beauty.
A sharp line drive by Martinez. Fielded by Dino Tharp at first, but 2 runs across in this half inning for the Locos to even the game back up at 3. Every time the Disco Turkeys have scored, the Locos have answered. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tie game 3-3. More baseball here on the Disco Turkey YouTube after this. We'll bring you back in to Truist Stadium, where we're going to have essentially a whole new lineup for the Disco Turkeys. It'll be Hamish Foreman making his second appearance for the Disco Turkeys out of Williston State. He had, in fact, taken over the duties at second base for Nick McAdon. And he's hitting in Jeff Davis's spot. So it's a 3-3 ball game. Mason Everhart has taken over the pitching duties, and the first delivery from him on the mound is very outside, past the glove of Rentis for ball 1. Kason Haggard is on deck, so he will bat for Logan Conklin. That one is taken for a strike by by Foreman, excuse me. I apologize. He is batting for McAdon. My eyes had deceived me. So it's a 2-1 count now. That one's upstairs, 3-1.
And Christian Ezel appears to be in the hole and would take over as the DH for Trey Newman.
Would not be surprised if that were the case. For now, it's a 3-2 count to Hamish Foreman.
Good old flesh to wood hitter here. Barehanded. I like it.
What? Strike 3 called on a ball that
right
seemed
then.
way outside.
He's about to throw his bat and go down to first base. Now I was about to give him credit for a good at-bat, which I still will do, but that's a tough call.
So it's a strikeout to start the afternoon for Everhart on the mound. And it'll bring up Kason Haggard, who's become a regular in the starting lineup, but did not make it into that set of 10 players today. First pitch to him is upstairs for ball 1.
How about number 24, Kason Haggard?
It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss will make it 1-2. Haggard, teammates of Kix Farrell at West Texas A&M, the man that he took over third base duties for. Here's the 1-2 pitch, outside ball 2. Two-two pitch, here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Disco Turkeys have gone down for the first 2 at-bats of this inning.
Yeah, back-to-back Ks, good start to the inning on the mound for Everhart.
And it will be Ezel stepping in for Trey Newman.
And Dino Tharp is on deck.
Number 10, Christian Ezel.
Who came in defensively at first for Bryson Bever. Ezel's got to get on and get that man's bat back in the lineup. Ezel has the only Disco Turkey home run in this ballpark.
Let's see if he can do it again. That pitch misses again, ball 2. Called strike 1 to Ezel. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is lined into right field, and it'll settle itself into the glove of Tyler Lloyd for out number 3. So a scoreless bottom half of the 6th as the Disco Turkeys go down in order. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Still knotted up here in Winston, 3-3. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. We're back here to start the top of the 7th. The last third of the ball game here at Truist Stadium, where Scout Nichols has made his way to the mound in relief of John Owen. We'll get you Owen's final line in a second. The first pitch from the sidearm reliever Nichols is in for a called strike one to Nick Halo. Nick Halo is 1 for 2 on the day. He's grounded to short and has a single to his credit, but he's taken 2 consecutive strikes to start off the 7th, and Scout Nichols is dealing early. 3-3 ball game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Good job by Halo to stay alive in the count.
Yeah, really good swing right there.
Final line for John Owen. 6 innings pitched, 24 batters faced, 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 errors behind him, 3 runs scored, only 1 of them earned, and 5 strikeouts on 87 pitches. Pretty good day for the starter in white. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Nichols. That one is off speed that's popped up. Good job by Halo to sit back on that one. That one's coming back into the seats. It nearly clipped someone in the head, but a good job by a young fan to come away with it.
Yeah, way to go, kid. That's some stick-to-itiveness right there, buddy.
The count's still 0-2 to Nick Halo. Here's the pitch to him from Nichols. And a big off-speed pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. A good start to the evening, I should say, for Scout Nichols.
And that's when you know he's on his stuff right there, when he's getting swings and misses on that down-on-the-way cutter slider action.
Still haven't completely found out who the new outfielders are for the Disco Turkeys. I suppose we'll get those to you when we come back to the bottom of the 7th. But if I had to venture a guess, it's some combination of Deion Tubbs, Henry Kohler, and Dane Stewart. Which one is where, I couldn't tell you. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Nick Bowles. It's high for ball 2. This is the tightest game that the Disco Turkeys have been in a while. Here's the pitch, and it's a ground ball to Nichols. He'll take it himself. Flip on to Tharp for out number 2.
2 quick outs and a good start to this 7th inning. Much needed, too, for Carolina.
So a quick 2 outs. We're going to have a pinch hitter for the Locos in place of Tyler Lloyd, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. It's going to be number 25. And I'm not really sure who that is because there's no number 25 on the Locos roster. And the mystery man in blue takes that first pitch for a called strike 1.
Good way to put it. Ghost batter, if you will.
That one's fouled off, and the count goes 0-2. I stand corrected. I just noticed that Deion Tubbs is in the dugout, so he is not one of the 3 outfield substitutions. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Nichols. It's a breaking ball that's in the dirt. A good job to lay off of that when the count moves to 1-2. One-two pitch. It's popped up foul. Count will stay 1-2. Here's the 1-2 yet again. Inside, ball 2.
Tough pitch to lay off right there, and a good job to do so, but also on the mound, it's a good spot.
Just been told that this is Joshua Delorier. I should have known he's from my school, High Point University, as he works the count full.
And there's a bit of a development. AC Plum is loosening in the bullpen.
3-2 pitch, got him looking, called strike 3.
Big time.
Scout Nichols does his job. 3 up, 3 down for the Locos. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, still knotted up at 3 all. More Disco Turkeys baseball after this. We'll welcome you back to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where it's 9-1-2 due up for the Disco Turkeys, but possibly not the same 9-1-2 you're used to.
Or have seen to this point.
Excuse me, 8-9-1, I apologize. Tharp, in his first at-bat, back in the lineup, starts it off with a hit.
What do you know?
His 11th hit of the year. He had 10 when he was injured 2 Sundays ago in the last home game against Statesville. He did not play a single game on the road trip. He still led the team in hits. That just goes a credit to how well he was playing before he got hurt. And he extends his lead with his 11th on the season as the leadoff man.
What do you know? You wonder why I picked him. This is my player to watch.
Well, in my defense, he wasn't in the lineup. But it'll be Keaton Westhoff in place of Caleb Smith. And Dane Stewart is on deck in place of Jeff Davis. That one's in there. Called strike 1.
It's a good take, though.
Swing and a miss on a ball very high up in the zone. Counts now 0-2.
Yeah, trying to do too much right there.
Westhoff at the plate this season. He's 1 for 7. Has 2 starts. This is his 3rd appearance. He's got 1 hit and 5 strikeouts. Here's the 0-2. Make it 6 on the season as Westhoff is sat down for out number 1. We'll head to the top of the lineup.
And Dane Stewart also returning. He is coming into the box now.
First time we've seen number 14 in the Disco Turkeys uniform in a while. Sight for sore eyes. The outfielder from Wake Forest had some time off. 1 out. Here's the first pitch to him. He'll lay off of a ball that gets into the zone, 0-1. Swing and a miss from Stewart on that pitch. It's an 0-2 count.
He's coming right after these guys. Not wasting any time out there is Everhart.
Showing no fear on the mound as the lineup rolls over to the top. Here's the 0-2. Outside, ball one. Stewart not chasing.
And that's a good sign, especially when you're just into the ball game. A lot of times you'll try and do too much right there.
And if my memory serves me correctly, Stewart has not played since at least the High Toms game.
I don't
week
believe
ago.
we saw him in Martinsville.
Swing and a miss, strike three, 2 straight strikeouts for Everhart on the bump, and it'll bring up Logan Conklin.
A good pitch on the outer edge right there. Going to go after it just enough. And back-to-back Ks after the leadoff single, and Carolina's going to need something from Logan Conklin right here, Graham. And tie game in the 7th. You can sway this thing right here, right now, with a blast under that short porch. Find a gap, too. Doesn't have to be a homer.
That one's outside, ball one. Here's the pitch. Outside again, ball two. Conklin from nearby Carolina University, and I mean really nearby. It's just up
like
the road.
Next door, pretty much.
2-0 pitch is a big swing and a miss. It'll get Everhart back into the count. Here it is, 2-1. Upstairs, ball three. Hitters count now. This is somebody that you do not want to leave anything over the plate to.
Well, you can't just ignore him right here. I mean, the guy behind him, just as good. So I think you got to come after him.
Here's the pitch. Outside ball four. It'll put 2 men on with 2 outs. For the man of the hour, Austin St. Laurent.
Man of the hour is right. Biggest spot of the ball game right here.
And we can now see as Henry Kohler has made his way into the on-deck circle, he is the takeover man in center field for D. Hawthorne.
That makes sense. First time we've seen him in a few games as well.
First pitch to St. Laurent is high for ball one. Dino Tharp at second, Logan Conklin at first, 2 outs, and the ECU product ahead in the count 1-0. Good pitch, taken for strike one on the outside half of the plate.
Not a bad take, though.
Not at all.
It's the pitch he chased last inning and last at bat and grounded out on. Laid off it twice in a row. It's a good sign.
We've got a new man behind the plate for the Locos. We'll work on getting you who that is. It's Ethan Martin taking over for Rentis behind the dish. That one's outside for ball three. Hitters count now for Austin St. Laurent.
Now's the time to let it rip if you get one you like. If not, lay off it. You got more traffic and got a guy in the box on deck. That's ball four.
Ball four, and the bases are loaded for Henry Kohler's first at-bat in a couple weeks.
And he's been swinging a pretty hot stick, as we've talked about, Graham. So, and you get the bases loaded here for a left-handed bat that's got a fair amount of pop in it. That's a really, really good sign.
One thing the Disco Turkeys have struggled with this year is leaving the bases loaded. They cannot do that here. This is one of the biggest moments of the season so far. And I don't think it's a stretch to say that. We'll give you a recap. This game was scoreless until the bottom of the third when the Disco Turkeys scored an unearned run. After Logan Conklin brought in Jeff Davis. I apologize. Austin St. Laurent brought in Jeff Davis with a sacrifice fly. Then in the next half inning, the Locos got it back. Carolina played it 2 in the bottom of the 5th to take a 3-1 lead, and then in the next half inning, the Locos got it back again. So that's where we stand here in the bottom of the 7th. The first pitch from Everhart to Kohler is called strike 1. Oh, 1. Inside, ball 1, count even.
Biggest at-bat of the ball game and one of the bigger ones of the season to this point. So,
on the year, Kohler batting .235, 8 hits, 2 RBIs. Big spot here, 1-1. Inside, ball 2.
see if the Davidson Wildcat can pull some Steph Curry clutch genes out.
Big hit, and it'll fall in left field. Run one's going to come in. Being waved around is Conklin. The throw not in time. Martin will have to block it up, and it's a 2 RBI double with the bases loaded for Henry Kohler.
There's the clutch gene, and that's a great piece of hitting right there, too. It was a fastball in the inner half. He didn't try to pull it. He didn't fly open on it. He stayed committed. He stayed down. He inside outed it the other way. 2-run score. He moves up to second on the throw to the plate. Now you got 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. This is far from over.
And as we said, one of the biggest moments of the year so far for Carolina, and Kohler comes through. It'll bring up Hamish Foreman, who struck out on a full count his last time up. See if he can keep the rally alive. Called strike 1 will start things off to him. Oh, 1. Outer half of the plate, called strike 2.
Be a good sign for your first hit right here, Hamish.
Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Hamish is looking for his first hit as a Disco Turkey, has reached base once on a walk. This is just his second game played. Here's the 1-2. Outside, same spot as the one before, 2-2 count.
All right, now he's not chasing at that, obviously. So now what do you do on the mound? Do you come inside? You go up? A lot of different ways to go. Setting up in.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a half swing from Foreman. Strike 3, the second time he struck out today, but 2 runs across on the big double from Henry Kohler leads to a 5-3 lead for Carolina. We'll head to the top of the 8th with more Disco Turkeys baseball after this. We'll bring you back into the top of the 8th, where for the first time in a while, the Disco Turkeys are working with a lead in the late stages of a game at home. Top of the 8th.
Love to see that.
You absolutely do, but the top of the order is due up for the Locos. It's Jose Vargas starting things off with Scout Nichols returning to the mound. Count 1-0 after Nichols missed on the first pitch. Here it is. The second one is fouled off. It'll even things up at 1-1.
It's an important half inning right here. After you get in the lead on the board, be really, really important here to hang a 0 going in the bottom half of the 8th.
AC Plum, who looks like he's transitioned from the starter to the closer, is warming up in the Disco Turkey bullpen. Here's the 1-1. Inside, ball 2.
And who knows, that might be a better role for him going forward. I mean,
It would not surprise me. He's worked as a reliever for most of his pitching career. And Scout Nichols has always been a traditional closer, according to what we've gathered on him.
but this middle relief role for him, he's done really, really well in, and I think
Honestly,
it suits him better.
well, you would be very hard-pressed to convince me that if Nichols gets through this inning quickly, he should be taken out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the 2-1 pitch. It's high and away for ball 3. If you can't settle that down a little bit, I might be more in support of bringing in somebody like Plum. 3-1. Swung on and fouled off yet again. So Nichols staying alive in the count, getting back into it 3-2.
A good competitive pitch, too, to do so. It's not that he missed too badly over the middle of the plate right there, 3-1. It was in a good spot. He just got him to fight it off. He got the strike. That's all that matters.
3-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. What a performance from Scout Nichols we're seeing right now.
What a pitch right there. Two-seamer tailing away from the right-handed pitcher to the left-handed batter. Just some really good two-seam action on that fastball, falling right off the side of the table.
Phenomenal resiliency from Scout Nichols to get back into that count. Here's the first pitch to Nick Tiller. He's 2 for 3 today. Reached on an error in the 4th. Had singles in the 1st and 6th. He scored twice, made it to at least 3rd every single time he's come to the plate. Here's the 0-1. Fouls that one directly back, and he's behind 0-2.
Directly back towards us if there wasn't a screen.
Nick Tiller also has a stolen base to his credit. Here's the 0-2. Tried to get Tiller to chase. Couldn't do it. 1-2 count.
Good idea, though. That's a filthy pitch that at least half of the guys are going to go fishing at.
1-2. Breaking ball froze Nick Tiller. Got him looking, and it's 3 consecutive strikeouts if you go back to last inning for Scout Nichols.
Oh, my goodness. That right there, folks, is as good as it gets for a front door slider. Started it in kind of at the torso of the batter. It breaks a good 5-6 inches hard right over the inside corner at the belt. That's virtually unhittable.
So it's Carlos Emezquita. He'll ground that one back to Nichols. It gets under his glove. And Emezquita's aboard after the E1. Nichols will try to brush that one off.
Yeah, it's a tough play, though. I mean, on a short hop like that, it's a play that if you ask Scout and us too, he should make. And in our scoring decision, yeah, it's going to be an error, but that's a tough play on a tough hop. But it's one, especially at this point in the ball game, now you bring the tying run to the plate, you got to make and get that out when it's presented to you.
So it'll be Ethan Martin coming up for his first plate appearance after coming in relief of Gabe Rentis behind the plate. Rentis' final line, 0 for 3, ground out, line out, fly out. First pitch to Martin is high for ball 1. Off and running is Mesquita. Hit and run was on. The throw, not in time. St. Laurent was very late getting over to the bag, and Mesquita looks a little bit shaken up at second base after the tag from St. Laurent came without a ball in the glove. He essentially just slapped Mesquita on his way down.
Well, that was just instinctive muscle memory, I think,
for sure.
him, but
He nearly had the ball in the glove. He tried to catch and tag all in one motion.
Well, first of all, it was a really good jump by Azakita. I'm surprised the play ended up being as close as it did. Because Azakita got a 2-hour head start almost. I mean, he got as good of a jump as you read about right there.
One to Martin is fouled back into the net. Ethan Martin in a big spot here for the Locos in the top of the 8th. Nichols gets set. Mesquita's off and running, and that one's grounded sharply to the first base side, but foul.
Be a big out right here if he can get it.
Count still 1-2. Mesquita on second. That one's fouled off by Martin yet again. Count will stay 1-2. Nichols up to 31 pitches on the evening as the sun starts to set in Winston. Mesquita creeping, he's off and going, and that one's fouled off by Martin again.
Yeah, another hit and run right there, and it's not a bad idea with 2 outs. The count you're in, and the guy at the plate, which, I mean, you got a pretty good indication of at least put the ball in play, you'd hope. Right spot, right guy to do it with. And the right guy at second, too, running.
Mesquita on second. That one called strike 3. And Nichols strikes out the side.
How about the gumption from the young fella?
Second consecutive inning that he struck out at least 2. Nichols, through 2 innings pitched, has 5 strikeouts. Will go to the bottom of the 8th. Disco Turkeys with their last chance to pad the lead before the top of the 9th after this. We'll bring you back here to Winston, where Kurt Cabana has thrown on the rally jacket. The Disco Turkeys hold a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. They're looking for their second home win of the year. It is 6-7-8 due up in this half inning. Haggard, Ezel, Tharp. And it's Tyler Lloyd re-entering the game. He started in right field, and he is back in the game on the mound for the Locos. Haggard takes the first pitch for ball 1. Haggard entered the game in the 6th. He'll take that one for a called strike 1. Took over for Kix Farrell, who officially did not have an at-bat. He went 0 for 0 with 2 walks. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one was a very obvious off-speed pitch that gets into the zone for strike 2. You can tell from Lloyd's delivery when it's an off-speed. You can tell it clear as day from up here in the booth. Here's the 1-2. That's another off-speed in the dirt. And you can tell Lloyd doesn't follow through all the way on that off-speed. His release point is higher, and he keeps his chin up. So expect a break when you see that. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one is lifted very high to the right side, but it's going to get out. Count stays 2-2. And a phenomenal catch made by a fan over there in foul territory.
A young fan at that. Seen a couple of good plays from the youngsters here so far.
Two pitch to Haggard. And that one's lifted into right. Is it going to drop? It will.
Good stuff.
Kason Haggard aboard with his first hit of the day. It comes to start off the 8th for Carolina.
It's a way to get the line moving as the Disco Turkeys look for some insurance here. Really good piece of hitting right there. You put the ball in play, eventually you'll find a hole and good things will happen.
Christian Ezel at the plate.
He did not make it to the plate when he was left on deck back in the 6th.
Called strike 1.
So this is his first plate appearance of the afternoon, evening.
Oh, 1 to Ezel. Here it comes. High for ball 1. The off-speed didn't make its way back into the zone.
Good take right there. A lot of guys will fly open on that off-speed pitch up.
One. That one's high, ball 2.
That didn't even threaten the zone right there. It's non-competitive pitch, as we say.
Two-one to Ezel. Here it is. Off-speed is lined sharply into left, but foul off the netting. It'll even the count at 2 for the second consecutive plate appearance for Carolina.
Lucky he's getting that baseball back right there.
And Ezel, we saw him the last time we were here in Winston. Took one deep into left over the fence for a home run, the first in Truist Stadium history for Carolina.
And the only to this point.
See if anything of that nature changes in this one. 2-2. Outside, ball 3, full count. And Lloyd is upset with himself, can't find the zone. There is action in the Loco bullpen. Can't really tell who it is. But we'll work on that. Dino Tharp is on deck, and you know what he can do when he gets a hold of one. 3-2. Off speed. Ezel sat back on it. Fouls it off. 3-2.
He didn't sit back quite long enough. He just couldn't get around on it. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to speak too soon, but I believe that is Austin St. Laurent that is in the Carolina bullpen.
I'll tell you what, I do not hate the idea of him coming in as a closer. We saw what he could do on the mound in Mooresville, even though it was only for 2/3 of an inning. It'd be a good idea to throw him out there. 3-2 pitch coming to Ezel. Here it is. Off speed is lined sharply down third base, and it's called foul.
Whoa.
I thought I saw that one kick up chalk.
I thought chalk kicked up for sure. It went over the bag, and I don't know if we can get a view of it, but see where that little gap is in the baseline right there? It looked like it kicked up right where that is.
It was a close call one way or the other. It was almost too close to call. But it'll stay a full count to Ezel, working the pitch count of Lloyd. Already up to 13 and still yet to record an out. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. There's the out. It brings up Dino Tharp with one out in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, credit where credit's due in that at-bat right there. He battled for as long as he could. And that is indeed, can confirm, that is St. Laurent in the bullpen.
And in the Locos bullpen, it's Luke Pritchett.
Who was also removed from the ball game earlier on.
So Dino Tharp, 1 for 1 on the day. See if he can make it 2 for 2. Here's the pitch in the dirt, and Haggard's at least going to take second. He'll stand up at second base after the wild pitch.
That changes the complexion of the inning a bit. Now you got a guy in scoring position with one out, and the double plays off the table. And a guy at the plate that is the team leader in hits right now, as we talked about.
We'll put it to you this way. Dino Tharp was batting .370 on the season before that single. So he's only raised his batting average from an astronomical .370 since this game began. Looking for his 4th RBI of the year here. Here's the 1-0. Off speed. Got him out in front of it. 1-1 count.
Well, you called his batting average astronomical, and he tried to send that ball to the moon.
That was a good one. I'll give you that one, Brett. That was pretty good.
That's what I'm here for. To delight and entertain.
Keaton Westhoff on deck. Here's the pitch to Tharp. Off speed. Got him out in front of it again.
That, I know that's a curveball, but it A, doesn't break like one, and B, it looks slower than a normal one. So I don't know.
I'm telling you, Brett, I wish so badly that I could phone down to the dugout right now, because I'm telling you, I can tell if it's an off-speed coming out of his hand. Just the way that he delivers it.
Oh, no, I know it's an off-speed pitch. It's deceptive in the fact that it's slower than you'd think it would be.
Here's the 1-2 to Tharp. Foul that one off. Stay alive in the count. Good job by Dino.
That was a fastball.
That one was a fastball.
Aren't you proud of me?
Good job, Brett.
Do I get a sticker?
No. Once you count. Off speed is lined into right, and it's going to drop, and Haggard's going to get doubled off at second. So that will end the bottom half of the 8th. The Disco Turkeys go 3 up, 3 down, but they hold a 2-run lead going into the top of the 9th. And we'll see who comes out to the mound for the Disco Turkeys as they look to close this one out. They lead 5-3, back with the final frame after this. We're back here for the top of the ninth, and Brett, you were right. It is indeed Austin St. Laurent, the de facto closer, coming out to start the top of the ninth on the mound for Carolina.
You guys ready to see the world's greatest curveball?
Well, according to him, it's a slider, but
Wait a minute, what?
he said that.
Did I not hear that the other night?
Yeah, he said it 3 times, but I don't know how you didn't hear it.
I just wasn't listening intently enough. Sorry, Austin. Anyways, you ready for the world's greatest slider?
Shamar squared around a bunt.
I think he pulled back.
He definitely did. That pitch was very high from St. Laurent, not the way you want to start your outing.
Trey Newman is sitting behind home plate.
With the camera phone. Counts 2-0 after that one, just barely missed.
Maybe a little too amped right here. Settle down a little bit.
That
was
one
better.
misses again.
That was better, though.
3-0. Scout Nichols ends the night, no hits, 2 innings pitched, 5 Ks, and no runs. Phenomenal outing in relief for number 11 in white. Counts 3-1 after that take from Dalton, the designated hitter, who is 1 for 3 today. And that one just barely missed the plate, and St. Laurent is not happy about that call.
No, I don't blame him. That looked to be on the black, or at least caught enough of it to get the call. I mean, but when you missed on the first 3 pitches, you're not going to get the call.
So we've had a defensive substitution. DJ Musser is in for Scout Nichols. Tharp has moved from first to short, and Musser is playing first base. St. Laurent will have to face Derek Martinez.
You get a power bat right off the hop here after a leadoff walk.
He represents the tying run at the plate, and he's got a power bat for sure. Doesn't just he's got the looks, he's got the arms to back it up.
He got the guns, that's for sure.
Off and running is Dalton. The throw from Conklin is going to bounce its way into first. Dalton was off the bag. They got him.
Oh, my goodness.
We saw it once from Carolina.
These things even out, I'm telling you.
As it was a strike him out, throw him out double play earlier in the game. And now Dalton is caught stealing after the walk, and it'll be 1 out in the inning for Carolina.
That is a heads-up play. Again,
by Dino
Tharp to keep the tag on. Now the entire complexion of the inning changes.
Everything just changed. Now the tying run is on deck rather than at the plate. That is a big difference. Pitch from St. Laurent, 2-1. Just missed the strike zone again, 3-1.
Well, it looked to be on the corner. It just looked a little bit low.
And if you're St. Laurent now, you might have to stop beating around the bush, but you can't hang anything. You got to find a middle ground. 3-1 pitch bounces its way in, and now the tying run is at the plate yet again.
Yeah, he's overthrowing it right now. I mean, look at his motion. He's basically throwing completely downhill. He's starting completely at the top of his body and then basically throwing in a downward motion to the point where every time it's missing low or he's not finishing and he's missing high.
So St. Laurent faced 3 batters in his last outing on the mound against Mooresville, recorded 2 outs, and allowed 1 hit, no walks. In this appearance, he's faced 2 batters, and he's walked both of them.
See if he breaks out that slider against a righty here.
This is the first righty he's faced. And there will be a pinch runner for Derek Martinez. It's William Stevens. I don't know how that wasn't a strike. It's ball 1.
Did Angel Hernandez make the trip to Winston-Salem for this game? Because by all indications, that was a strike.
Pickoff attempt to get Stevens. It was close, but not in time.
Probably a lot closer than it should have been. Stevens counted a couple of sheep over there before he dove back.
One-0. to Halo. St. Laurent delivers. It's over the plate, called a ball again.
I wish I had something to say on that. I don't. There's no explanation for it.
St. Laurent got him, but called safe.
That was in time. The tag appeared to be in time.
It was close, but it appeared to be a pickoff out from up here.
How about we give some more credit to Austin for one of the quicker pickoff moves we've seen to this point. There's another one.
That one was clearly not in time, in my opinion.
Nope. That wasn't even closer than the first two.
And the crowd becoming a little bit incensed with the umpires here in the top of the ninth. A ground ball double play would end the game. 2-0 to Halo. Off and running. Conklin picked the ball out of the dirt with his bare hand, and Haggard does well just to keep the ball in the infield after the throw was off the mark. So the count's 3-0.
Yeah, Conklin should have just eaten it at that point. If it's in the dirt like that, the chances of getting him are slim to none. But, I mean, after the first guy of the inning came off the bag, it's probably not the worst idea.
3-0. That one's high, ball 4. So the stolen base from Stevens is null, as Halo is aboard with a walk, and so now it'll draw out Kurt Cabana, and the Disco Turkeys have a predicament with the leading run at the plate.
Now begs the question, how long do you stick with him? He's walked 3 now. There's no action, but we saw AC Plum loosening a couple of innings ago.
Two outs are all that stands between Carolina and their 4th win of the year.
All you got to do is roll a ground ball.
The Disco Turkeys have yet to turn a double play in this game. They turned 5 in their last win against Martinsville. First pitch to Nick Bowles. Here it comes. And it's a big swing and a miss. I apologize. That is not Nick Bowles. It is Jacob Mabe in a pinch hitter appearance. But one way or the other, a big swing and a miss for strike 1.
I think he found the fastball.
See if he goes back to it. Here's the pitch from Austin. That one's in the zone again. Strike 2. There you go.
There you go. There it is, big boy. Look at the motion too. It's not as straight over the top. That's the biggest change right there, right off the bat, and I guarantee you that's what Kurt Cabana told him.
2 runners on. 0-2, 1 out, and he'll spin around to keep Stevens at second. Big moment for the ECU product. Here's the pitch. Tried to get Mabe to chase. He almost went around, but ended up checking his swing.
Yeah, he wanted to. That was tempting.
He definitely wanted that one.
A good pitch and good discipline to lay off of it.
Here's the 1-2. Off and running is Stevens. How is that not strike 3? Pardon me.
Okay, I was getting ready to say.
There we go. The call was very unemphatic, especially for it being a called strike 3.
I did it more emphatically up here.
The double steal was on and it was good, probably because of the confusion at home plate due to the fact that there was no strike 3 call. But there are now 2 outs in the 9th and 2 runners in scoring position for Joshua Delorier. Here's the pitch from St. Laurent, outside, ball 1.
Did miss by much right there, though. Good spot to miss with that fastball.
This will be the 20th pitch from St. Laurent. Here's the 1-0. That ball had a lot of break on it, but not enough to get back into the zone. 2-0.
You're lucky it didn't hit him and load the bases.
At this point, do you take that risk? Get a play at any base, and the leadoff man who's up next is 0 for 4. Here's the pitch. That one is into center. This could do it. And it'll be caught in center field by Henry Kohler, and that'll do it. The Disco Turkeys win. Final score here in Winston, the Disco Turkeys 5 and the Locos of High Point and Thomasville 3. The Disco Turkeys' second win at home this season and their first in over a week. Good to get back in the win column for Carolina.
Absolutely, and what a job by Austin St. Laurent to close this thing out, battling around those 3 walks to get huge, huge outs and a huge victory to begin this 5-game homestand.
And another Disco Turkeys win. You know what that means. It's time for the rundown in the Roost. We'll break down how this game went. The Disco Turkeys took the lead for the first time in the bottom of the third, courtesy of a sacrifice fly from Austin St. Laurent that brought in Jeff Davis, who reached on an error by the third baseman, Amezquita. Then, in the top of the fourth, the Locos got it right back. It was unearned after Nick Tiller reached on an error by Jeff Davis, then advanced to third on a balk, and then was brought in on an RBI groundout by Amezquita. So people atoning for their errors all the way around. The bottom of the fourth and top of the fifth were scoreless. Then we go to the bottom of the fifth, where the Disco Turkeys played at 2. Caleb Smith came around to score. So did Jeff Davis. It was an RBI single from an RBI sac fly from Logan Conklin that brought him in. And that was the 2 runs played into the bottom of the fifth. And then in the top of the sixth, the Locos got them right back after John Owen finally crumbled just a little bit. The first earned run he allowed after Shamar Dalton beat out an infield single, and an error from Dino Tharp at third brought in Amezquita and Nick Tiller. Then the bottom of the sixth and top of the seventh were scoreless, and then in the bottom of the seventh inning, the Disco Turkeys took the lead for good when Dino Tharp got his 11th hit of the year and ended up coming around to score after a 2 RBI double with the bases loaded from Henry Kohler. And then that would do it as the 8th and 9th were scoreless. Austin St. Laurent earns the save, and the Disco Turkeys come away with a 5-3 win. Brett, what are your thoughts on this one as we start off the homestand?
Henry Kohler, biggest at-bat of the season, bar none. The biggest hit, the biggest at-bat. Graham, I don't know if I'm going to be right in saying this, but that might be the match that sets the fire. This game might be the match that sets the fire.
It really could.
Especially to start a 5-game homestand, the biggest we've had yet. When you get a win like that to fire the boys up to start off this homestand, you are just as raring to go for the next 4 as you've been all year.
Absolutely, and this is the time to get hot if you're going to do it. Today marks the start of a span where over the next 12 days, counting today, the Disco Turkeys have 10 games, 9 of them are at home. This is exactly when you want to hit your stride. The first part of the year didn't go how you wanted it to, but now is not too late to turn things around.
You got this 5-game homestand, and then you've got the 4-game homestand for July 4th weekend, and a road game mixed in between, a couple of road games mixed in between there. This is vitally important, and here's the good thing. Despite the 2 errors, just as was the case in Martinsville, they were worked around. It was a team effort all the way around from pitching. Everybody had really good at-bats. This is just a great, great team win and a great thing to build off of going forward.
Henry Kohler, the hero, came through with the bases loaded in a tie game, bottom of the 7th, with a 2 RBI double, and it was the difference maker. John Owen earns his 2nd win of the year and as many starts. Austin St. Laurent gets the save, coming in and shutting things down in the top of the 9th. Scout Nichols struck out 5 in 2 innings. And the Disco Turkeys bats came alive for 8 hits in this one. 2 of them courtesy of Caleb Smith, 1 of them from Dino Tharp, extending his lead on the team for hits with his 11th of the year. And the biggest one of them all from Henry Kohler, a 2 RBI double to seal the deal. That'll do it for us here from Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The final score here, the Disco Turkeys get another win, their 4th of the year. They'll move to 4-9 on the season. 5-3, the Disco Turkeys defeat the High Point and Thomasville Locos. We'll be right back here tomorrow night at the same time, 5:35 p.m. against the Martinsville Ponies on Thursday night. we'll have it for you here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube channel. And for Callahan Eshelman beside me, Brett Wiseman on color commentary. So long and good night.